I remember when an error meant you were on your own. If you've ever heard a dial up modem connect, you remember waiting for the handshake, waiting for the page to load, waiting to see if it would even stay connected. I remember dot matrix printers chewing through inline paper, manuals thicker than the hardware, jumper diagrams, COM ports, error codes that told you almost nothing. There was a time when an error didn't come with a tutorial. It didn't come with a forum. It didn't come with a search bar. It came with silence. And that silence forced process. Before search engines, before YouTube, and even before AI, troubleshooting was physical. You didn't search for answers. You followed steps. You read the manual. You checked the wiring. You reseated the cable. You tested one thing at a time. Guessing only made things worse. So you slowed down. You observed. You isolated variables. You learned sequence. That era didn't make us faster. It made us disciplined. I got into PCs in the mid to late 90s. DOS, dot matrix, command line, and the beginning of Windows. The start of graphical interfaces, when things stopped being typed and started being clicked. I didn't have enough command line to be a purist, but I had enough to respect it. And right around then, things started shifting. We stopped configuring pins and IRQs, we stopped moving jumpers by hand, and we started trusting drivers and plug and play. I remember reading an HTML for Dummies on a bus ride from Illinois to North Carolina, not because I wanted to be a web guru, but because I wanted to stay current. That book was different from a manual. It talked to you. Then Google made everything searchable. Copy the error, paste it into the search bar. Someone somewhere had probably seen it before. Forums exploded, Reddit threads became a thing, and Stack Overflow became a go-to. The rise and fall of BBS systems and text-based gaming and building changed. You didn't need a deep understanding of program anymore. You needed curiosity. You needed patience. You needed the willingness to search, filter, test, and try again. This is when hobbyists exploded. Home labs started in bedrooms, websites started in basements, mods turned into communities. You didn't have to be a programmer to build structures. You just had to be willing to learn. And today things have shifted again. Today it feels like I've got a lead programmer on call at all times. That's a builder's dream. Not someone doing the work for me, not someone replacing understanding, but someone I can describe the problem to and get structured direction back. If I can describe the system clearly, AI becomes powerful. I don't know every line of code. I don't pretend to. But I understand what the system is supposed to do. I think in structures, modules, inputs and outputs, how the pieces fit together. And if I can communicate that clearly, I can build. Pair that with virtualization, and I can spin up a system, test something bold, and break it safely, roll it back, and move forward smarter. That's not reckless. That's controlled experimentation. The same principle that drives serious programming and hosting is now available in a home office. AI isn't magic. It can be confidently wrong. It still needs verification, but it compresses the distance between idea and working system. This entire project is an example of that. AI-assisted scripting, AI-generated visuals, infrastructure built from a home office, but none of it happens without direction. The manual era required technical depth. The search era required curiosity. The AI era requires communication and the desire to build. You don't have to be the most technical person in the room. You don't have to be the most creative. You just have to understand what you're building and explain it clearly. And today, that's enough.